Hi, my loves. This is just a quick go-to on how to blow out your own hair, and I kind of started already, so oopsies. But yeah, I like to get a really nice round brush. The larger the brush, the straighter the hair. The smaller the brush, meaning the less narrow this, the smaller in diameter. Like if it was like this size, it would give you more of a curl. If you want volume, you want to over direct your hair. I'll show you. I heat it up nicely so that you can warm up the metal that's on here, and doing so will allow for it to smooth the hair and kind of give you that permanent oomph, because it's like a curling iron. It basically gets really warm. See how you got the volume in the front like that? And you can do that. I mean, I like to do my front pieces and then leave the rest, like whatever, to air dry for the most part, so I don't over process my hair. But I'm gonna show you guys a little bit more. If you get it at the root, you can give yourself some more volume, kind of over direct, which means you put the brush in the opposite, or you bring the hair that way if you want it to come this way with some oomph. Just a little technique. You can also do it this way. And you always want to turn the brush, if you can, without tangling your hair. It'll create nice smoothness on the bottom. I know I didn't do the bottom layer. I just wanted to show you guys kind of quickly. So I don't plan on doing my whole hair, but doing my whole head. But I have a Zoom meeting tomorrow with colleagues, and I kind of want to look somewhat presentable when turning on the camera. So yeah. If you want to look presentable for any work at home or work from home video meetings, whatever, or just anything, take your time, be patient. If you're in a rush, you may not do this well. Once you do this over and over, it'll be like second nature, and it'll be super easy to do, and you'll get the look that you want. I sometimes like to flip it and be real dramatic about my part. Depends on the mood. You could do that. I just came out the shower and I was like, let me throw on my little whatever this throw thingy that I have on me, because my hair was really soaking wet. I wrapped it in a towel. The best towels are the softy towels, the really, really soft ones. You can wrap your hair in that and it'll soak up. The microfiber towels, those are some of the best towels to use. I know this looks easier than it is. That's because I've been doing it since I was 12. I've been blowing out my hair for a very long time. have a visual mind, so growing up, I would watch and I would learn how to do stuff just from watching. And I didn't have to see it a lot. I saw it once and I started copying the hairstylist. My color is not great, but I did it myself. I was in desperate need for a change, and I just wanted to put some, some light. It was burgundy, and I wanted to let that fade out, which it did fade out. And then I put some light pieces. I took my hair in sections and I teased it, and then I did some balayage on my own. And then, being that my hair was light last year, I went in there and I took some of the lightener that I had left, and I kind of just picked and chose different pieces, because see, my roots are still dark and it fades and it warms up on the ends. And then I put a toner from Pravana. I put the ash toner to kill some of the brassiness. Ideally it's a little a little warmer than I wanted. I want it to be very ash, with some more platinum-y pieces, but I mean, this will do for now. It's not terrible, but yeah. And so usually before you put any heat to your hair, you always want to put some kind of heat protector serum, which of course I can't find my serum, but I have the Moroccan oil. I'm sure you know what Moroccan oil is, and if you don't, it's really good, very expensive for the everyday person, because of course, people in the business, we get a little break, but it's about 40 bucks. It was gifted, the one that I have, it was gifted to me by a sister in my fellowship, so she gave me that, and it was the Moroccan oil light, because the other one's a little more greasy. So what happens if you put too much serum in your hair gets very oily and very greasy. Like right now, it looks a little bit dry on the ends. So what happens, you put a little serum, it'll smooth it out, it'll look really good. But normally you'd put a little bit of serum in it when it's damp. And I cut my hair too. It was a lot longer, but anyway, when you go light, you have to get rid of some of them ends, but you put serum in it when it's damp. And then when you're done to polish it off, you put a little more serum, and you smooth it out, and you're done. If you want to add waves to it, you can. You could take a flat iron, you could take a curling iron and put a couple of beach waves in it, very soft, very loose, and you could run your fingers through it. If you're using weave hair extension, make sure that it's 100% human hair, because if it is synthetic or 50-50, you're gonna have melty hair. It's gonna melt, it's gonna ruin your appliances. It's also going to look terrible if you're trying to keep that hair, because it depends on what you pay for hair. Like, some hair is mixed yaki with synthetic, and the quality's definitely still not there. It's better, but it's not great. And so you just want to be very meticulous, very careful when you choose your hair. If you don't have the money to get the good quality hair, I would suggest waiting. I'm not telling you have to spend a mini fortune on hair, but you want to get decent hair and hair that you can dye. If you typically wear your hair dark, then you're okay with brown. But if you're like myself and you're always changing your color, like I always do something different, your best bet is to go with like a soft brown color that you can add highlights, or you can darken if you decide to go darker, or you could just buy something for the lighter seasons and then for the darker hair tones, whatever you prefer doing, if you can afford to do that. I haven't used extensions in a while, but because I want these highlights to be really platinum-y and I don't want to risk running the damage, running into damage and whatnot, like running the risk of damaging my hair, I would much rather buy some extensions. They've got tape-in, which are really good, and if you don't want to do the tape-in, or you can't do the tape-in on your own, you can get the clip-in ones. You can put the sew-in if you have somebody who's willing to braid and sew them in for you. I don't do the sew-in, but I do tape-ins at the salon. I do the clip-ins. I'll put those in for you, and also I will do the keratin glue ones, which basically is you glue a tracks. Another thing that's really cool, is to get some, if you just want some highlights in your hair, you get a whole different color. If you want highlights but you're afraid because you have natural hair and you do not want to damage your hair, what you want to do is then buy like a soft brown or like a caramel tone, and you can put those in as highlights, and those look pretty good, and you don't have to spend a lot of money either, and you can just put them in and kind of have it be like a ombre or even like a balayage look. The only thing is you're not going to get the effect in the front, but you can get the effect under here where you'll see some really pretty colors, and then you can just kind of put some curls in it, do some rollers or whatever, and you can have a really nice finished look. So anyway, that was my quick little showing you on what I did here and some suggestions on what you could do. If you're not good at coloring hair, please leave it to the professionals. I tell you, it's the best money spent. There's always someone that can meet your budget, and like I said, save. Don't go crazy dyeing it at home yourself, because a lot of the over-the-counter stuff is sitting on the shelves for a while. Not only that, you don't know what developer is in there. It could be a 10 developer, it could be a 20 developer, and if you use something where the developer is not good for your hair, you can dry your hair out. Not only that, a lot of times people want to dye their hair really from dark hair and get it really light like I did. I did this in one step, but that's because I have the professional products. I know the amount of time to leave it in. I also know the steps to repair the hair if it gets damaged, and I use Olaplex among other products, which helps protect the hair from super damage when you go light. So if you're gonna do something like that at home, I think you should really think twice, unless you know someone that can fix it for you, or like a professional, or if you, I don't know. I used to do things on my own when I was young, and I still do things on my own, but again, I know what I'm doing. And even when I didn't know what I was doing, I knew what I was doing, if that makes sense. You don't want Bozo the Clown hair. And if you have black hair and you're trying to make it really blonde, you're gonna have that orangey brassy tone in between. The reddish orange, that coppery color, the really, really red. Kind of like what this is, but not pretty. Like this, I can get away with this. But there's like carrot top when you go from black to try to get blonde, and you have that in between. So anyway, moral of the story is be mindful of what you're doing to your hair. An over-the-counter solution for conditioning, a deep conditioning that's not super expensive and it lasts a really long time, is Nature's Therapy by L'Oreal. It comes in a little jug. You can put that in your hair as a leave-in conditioner, deep conditioner. Leave it in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, put a hair cap, whatever. You could sleep in it if you want to. Some people recommend taking it out after, like right after, like maybe 10 minutes. If you're gonna rinse it out right away, make sure you use cool water. The cool water is going to help lock your cuticle on your hair and make it stay and be moist. Moisturize your hair. Lock the moisture in. So, yep, there you go. So I hope any of that helped somebody out there. All right, talk to you guys later.